Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is February 24th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a watershed moment in time, an earth-changing event, or some other catastrophic DEFCON level national emergency or continuity of government related event um, on the date of February 24, 2026, during the live broadcast of the State of the Union address by Donald J. Trump. So, on the evening of February 24, 2026, Donald J. Trump will address the American public on live television. This is likely going to be one of the most highly watched events in television history for the year of 2026, aside from the Super Bowl and other events such as the Olympics. So, before I get into the potential scenarios, I just want to highlight the numerology. So basically, the date of February 24th of 2026, we have the number 24, which equates to the letter X, which is the international symbol of death. And if you take two X's and you put them together, it forms the Star of David, which is a hexagram. And this is found on the flag of the State of Israel, the apartheid Zionist State of Israel. And so what's imperative to note here is that the first Jewish state of Switzerland, where the first ever Zionist Congress was held in Basel, Switzerland in 1897, via their proxy state of Israel and her Israeli Mossad, her Israeli Navy, her Israeli Air Force, and her Israeli IDF are going to execute this attack in real time during the live broadcast of this event. This is going to be an epic false flag. It's either going to be target the U.S. Congress, the United States Capitol building, or it's going to be external outside of the Capitol. But shit is going down on the evening of February 24th of 2026 during the live broadcast of the State of the Union address by U.S. President Donald J. Trump. It's 100% certain that the CIA is going to stage some sort of major event or false flag during this broadcast. And of course, as with all attacks, terror events, political assassinations, wars, bombings, etc., it always has the numeric signature of the CIA, which is the letter X, which if you turn it 90 degrees, it forms a Swiss cross. And then you have the Star of David found on the flag of Israel. So you have the State of Israel and the State of Switzerland are conspiring together. This is Israel is the letter I, S is the letter for Switzerland, and together they form the cash symbol, the snake on the pole, which is the name of CIA headquarters located in CERN at Lake Geneva. It's IS or ISIS. And so these are the two nations which form the power structure. One is the military and one is the intelligence, and together they're going to attack the United States or a secondary location on the evening of February 24th, which would be February 25th in the rest of the world. So I'm just going to briefly first address Donald J. Trump in his speech inside the United States Capitol building to the American public and the people that are going to be inside. And then I'm going to address the events that are likely going to transpire outside of the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. So there is a realistic possibility that the CIA will stage one or more of the following incidents: and a public arrest of Donald J. Trump while giving his speech, possibly by the ICC for extrajudicial killings in Venezuela, or something related to Russia, or something to that effect. A political assassination of Donald J. Trump is expected on the evening of February 24th of 2026. This will likely be blamed onto a foreign country such as China, Iran, North Korea, Pakistan, Russia, but the most likely scenario on the evening of the 24th is that the CIA stages a Black Lives Matter or Code Pink based attack targeting Donald J. Trump. This may be blamed on a staffer of one of the congressmen or congresswomen, or it may be by a congressman or congresswoman herself, possibly. I forget his name. I think his last name is Rodriguez. He's being called on today to resign from Congress because his aide in Texas that he was having a relationship was set on fire, and so he may be blackmailed into committing this murder. The CIA tried this during the last State of the Union when Al Green and a fellow Congress member interrupted the State of the Union by Donald J. Trump, and there was going to be a gunman attack targeting Trump that was going to be blamed or executed upon a black male that is in the Congress. That male coincidentally died in Texas a few days later. So, because he was the slated assassin. So I believe that the CIA is going to stage a secondary event. It's likely going to be a female and likely going to be a lesbian. But they're going to kill Donald J. Trump on the evening of February 24th, surrounding his appearance at the State of the Union address. There's also the high probability that Donald J. Trump will suffer a medical emergency while giving his speech to the American public, because the CIA believes that if the American public witnesses this event happen in real time, they won't suspect that the Israeli Mossad or Switzerland and the CIA are responsible. So anything from an appendix rupture, a stroke, a heart attack, a brain aneurysm, a brain freeze where he suddenly can't speak anymore because he's being targeted by an energy weapon, a slip and fall, a collapse where he begins slurring and mumbling. He may also slip into a coma, but some sort of medical related emergency is expected. Donald J. Trump will likely be taken out of the Capitol building on a stretcher and placed into an ambulance. There's also the unrealistic chance, but also possible, that the CIA will stage an impeachment of Trump, possibly for the Epstein files. A walkout of Donald J. Trump's speech is expected by virtually all the Democrats. Adam Schiff has already stated that he will not attend, and so I believe that most of the Democrats will not attend or will walk out in the middle to try to embarrass Trump. There's also an assault or some sort of punching or stabbing attack is expected. We just saw that Ilhan Omar, a protester in the audience, threw something in her face, which ended up being apple cider vinegar. So some sort of an assault targeting Trump while speaking is expected. This may be spitting, this may be a shoe, this may be a bottle, this may be a firecracker, this may be a grenade, this may be a bomb, this may be anything, but that something is expected. They're also going to stage numerous protests surrounding the Capitol tonight, and this is designed to trigger martial law, and in the process of the Secret Service and the Capitol Police trying to restrain these protesters, they're going to stage shootings of African Americans, because they're going to try to start a race war in the United States. And I'm going to get into, there's 4 separate events that are going to be held simultaneously or shortly thereafter this State of the Union, which I'm going to highlight in a second, and protests around those events and massacres of civilians is expected. Also, it's highly likely that the CIA is going to stage some sort of an arson fire, possibly scapegoated onto a protester, but what's likely also planned is that the CIA is going to stage a pulling of the sprinkler system while so they basically, somebody's going to pull the fire alarm, and then the sprinkler system is going to erupt, and then Donald J. Trump is going to sit there, and his orange makeup is going to start to run, and his hair is going to be all matty, and they're going to try to embarrass him, to suicide him at a later date. And we recall that a few months ago the CIA staged I believe it was Hakeem Jeffries, but it might have been another African-American Congress member who pulled the fire alarm while they were debating the government shutdown, I believe, if my memory serves. So some sort of redux event is expected. Also, the CIA plans to turn the lights out, like literally. So they may turn the lights out inside the chamber in the United States Capitol building, or the CIA may stage a cyber attack targeting Washington, D.C., during this event. And what I meant to say earlier when I was listing off all the potential health-related events that the CIA could stage targeting Trump is that if he does suffer one or more medical-related events on the evening of the 24th, they would do so, the CIA would do so specifically to invoke the 25th Amendment, which states that if the president is unfit to serve, he can be removed. So that is what the end game of that medical-related event. And I should say that if the CIA manages to embarrass Trump, there's also the chance that the CIA is going to have people in the audience or Republican Congress members start saying the N-word out loud, screaming it while Trump is speaking. And this was just witnessed during the BAFTA Awards in London on Sunday night, the 22nd of February, when a guy with alleged Tourette started yelling out the N-word while Jamie Foxx, the actor, was on stage. Last but not least, I believe that on the evening of February 24th of 2026, the CIA is going to stage an epic event, which is going to be made-for-TV drama. If you'll recall, during the Clinton-Trump debates of 2006, I believe, or 2016, I believe, Donald J. Trump brought the victims of Bill Clinton's sexual escapades to the debate as an intimidation factor. And I believe that the CIA has a number of women, possibly 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 women, that are alleged victims of Jeffrey Epstein, that are going to be brought into the chambers on the evening of February 24th of 2026 into the Capitol chambers. And while Trump is speaking, they're going to march in unison, in solidarity, and they're going to start screaming at Trump, "You raped me, you raped me, you choked me, you bit me, you did this, you did that." So that's what I believe is the Epstein endgame, so to speak, is that they plan to basically to force the Congress and the American people to flush Trump in the aftermath of this unprecedented event, where all these alleged victims, never mind that none of them have filed a police report, none of them have made public accusations, but they're going to surprise and ambush essentially the American population on live television along with the president with these unfounded accusations. Okay, so now in phase two, I'm going to talk about the, I should mention the events that are going to be happening around the Capitol building. So inside Washington, D.C., inside the U.S. Capitol building, we're going to have the event. And then outside of it, outside the Capitol building, we are going to have what is called the People's State of the Union rally. This is going to be held at the Lincoln Memorial. This is going to be led by Democrats. So obviously some sort of MAGA massacre, mass shooting, vehicular ramming attack, bombing, pipe bombing, suicide bombing, some sort of an event is expected. Also, the actor Robert De Niro is holding a State of the Swamp presentation. I don't know if it's going to be private with his webcam at home. I don't know if it's going to be public at a public venue, but obviously Robert De Niro has some sort of beef with Trump, and that is likely going to be targeted as well. Also, what's also proof that the CIA in Switzerland is running the entire show is the fact that Abigail Spanberger, the new governor of Virginia, or the new senator of Virginia, excuse me, I'm not sure which one. She is a CIA employee, a literal CIA employee, and she is going to be giving the rebuttal to Donald J. Trump's State of the Union. And so that confirms in a de facto manner that the CIA is planning on staging a major event during this live broadcast, and the fact that she is going to handle the response because she's going to say and do exactly what the CIA wants her to do. Last but not least, in Bill Maher's real-time show on Friday, the 21st, he stated that he called for an end to the State of the Union, and that is because America as we know it is likely going to end during this event, which is the potential scenarios that I'm going to get into. So I believe that if the CIA cannot remove Trump with the Epstein girls or whatever other scenario they're planning inside the chambers of the U.S. Capitol building on February 26th, I believe that Donald J. Trump will greenlight an attack on Iran and that he is going to address the American people in doing so. I believe he has been blackmailed or he has been paid off, but I believe that he will attack Iran during the live broadcast of the State of the Union, which would be early morning time in Tehran. Also, some other national emergency activation of an emergency alert system. There's also the possibility that the CIA will stage some sort of an alien or asteroid attack during this live broadcast, a biological outbreak as pretext for lockdowns and a second global pandemic, some sort of act of war, declaration of war, terror attack, Iranian military offensive, Russian military offensive, full-scale attack or invasion of another country, some sort of chemical, biological, radiological event, or some sort of natural disaster, including but not limited to avalanches, mudslides, sinkholes, volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, earthquakes, and or tsunamis. So that's it. Those are the most likely events that are going to transpire during the live broadcast of the State of the Union on the evening of February 24th of 2026. I believe that J.D. Vance will be sworn in as President of the United States, as the 48th President of the United States, on the date of February 25th of 2026 in the aftermath of Trump's demise, either by assassination or in some other form or fashion. There's also the possibility, I have highlighted this numerous times, Donald J. Trump was shot in the ear on purpose because they're going to assassinate him under the guise of a heart attack when in the aftermath of the death of a family member, in the event of an attack on one of his buildings, in the event of a nuclear war or a second pandemic. Upon hearing the news, Trump will suddenly cloak, and that is why they shot him in the ear, because they're going to assassinate him via hearing about some sort of tragic event. And so this may be also what is planned during the evening of February 24th of 2026. So obviously, if this comes to fruition in reality, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets.